James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
Are you taping again? Come on. I don't know why, but I just love it here. It's so peaceful. You know what I heard? This whole area used to be a sacred place. I think I can see why. It's too bad we have to leave. Please promise you'll take me again, James. I don't look like a ghost, do I?
Anyway, I'm glad you're alive.
Anyway? What do you mean, anyway? You don't sound very happy to see me. I was almost killed back there. Why didn't you try to save me? All you care about is that dead wife of yours. I've never been so scared in my whole life.
Lost?
Just like that stupid dog. He had it coming too.
Eddie, you can't just kill someone because of the way they looked at you.
I don't know. Maybe I did.
What's a little girl like you doing here anyway?
Huh? Are you blind or something?
Oh, it's you.
Just putting the gun to their head.
I am. Do you want me to be?
So, what about Laura? Did you find her?
Yeah, but she ran away.
We've got to find her.
It doesn't matter who I am. I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real.
Welcome, one and all, to a special Halloween Let's Play. This was a game that I've always wanted to do, and since, it's October and Halloween's coming up soon, I figured, hey, it's a good time for it. This is Silent Hill 2, probably one of my favorite games of all time, not just like survival horror, just one of my favorite games, and it probably falls into that category for a lot of people. So, yes, I'm playing Silent Hill 2 for a special little Halloween thing. Right now I'm just going to mess around with the settings a bit, because this is a New Game Plus run, not really like I'm running off of an old file that I completed, just I've already beaten the game and I've unlocked some of the special features. Like the intro, that was actually changed up from what it's normally like. Normally there are no voices that you hear, like whenever the characters talk you don't hear their voices, except at the beginning and the end. When you beat the game, you actually unlock the voices during the intro. Another new feature you get when you beat the game is bullet adjust. Bullet adjust multiplies the amount of bullets you pick up. So if you were to pick up a package of 10 handgun bullets, say you set the bullet just to 2, you would now get 20 bullets. This is more of a casual run just for fun, just to show off the game, you know, have a good scare. So I'm gonna set the bullet adjust to ×2, so basically nothing will get too overly tedious. I could set it to 3, but I'm just gonna play on normal mode, and having 3 times the regular amount of bullets would just be broken. Though I suppose having double is already kind of broken, but hey, let's just roll with it. Let's change our settings to that. Now, this is vanilla Silent Hill 2, and what I mean by that is this is like the earliest release of Silent Hill 2. When Silent Hill 2 got ported to the Xbox, it got a couple extra features. Namely, it got an extra ending, it got a UFO ending, which is sort of a staple of the Silent Hill series. I think all of them except 4, I think, have a UFO ending. And it also had an alternate scenario. When you pick New Game, you would get an option from Letter from Silent Heaven, which is the default gameplay scenario where you follow James and his story. And you would get another scenario called Born from a Wish, which is a scenario following another character. Now, these features were also included in another PS2 version of the game, the Collector's Edition or the Restless Dreams version. That version contained both the UFO ending and Born from a Wish. However, since this is just regular old Silent Hill 2, I do not have that. Kinda sucks, but what can you do? Now, for Silent Hill 2, we have 4 difficulty levels. Beginner is, like, so pathetically easy. It's like you're not even going for the game, you're just in it for the scare and the story. Easy is sort of the same thing, only in easy, you might possibly run into the threat of dying at some point in the game. It's unlikely, but possible. Normal is standard. You run through the games, you'll probably have trouble at all the parts that usually give people trouble. It's, you know, standard fare stuff. And hard mode is actually pretty hard. If I were doing this normally, like if you follow my channel, you've probably noticed a trend of where I either play hard games, I play them at their hardest settings, or I put in some sort of self-imposed challenge. However, this is just a regular run. Hard mode actually is pretty hard, and I've been playing through it on like a normal run, and there's just a boss fight that I can't get past in it. I've been messing around with it, but yeah, I'm not really getting anywhere with it, so I don't feel like dealing with it. And new to Silent Hill 2, this is not something you could do in Silent Hill 1. You can select the difficulty of the riddles in this game. Easy riddles equals easy puzzles, normal equals moderately difficult puzzles, and hard obviously equals hard puzzles. Of course, the difficulty of the puzzles can be somewhat subjective, but hey. We're just going for normal for moderately difficult puzzles.
Mary, could you really be in this town?
Okay, so at the start of the game, we're dumped off in this fairly lovely looking bathroom, and until the upkeep for this place is pretty high priority. There's not much you can do in here. We could mess around with the controls for a bit, but I'll get us into a more open area so we can deal with that. Let's just leave this bathroom.
In my restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday. I'm alone there now. In our special place. Waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. A dead person can't write a letter. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then, why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park on the lake? We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us, staring at the water. Could Mary really be there? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
So that is our basic plot synopsis for Silent Hill 2. A little while ago, James received a letter from his wife Mary telling him that she was waiting for him in their special place in the town Silent Hill. Only problem is that Mary has died 3 years ago of a disease. So it's kind of odd. It's like all of a sudden he just gets a letter from his dead wife. This could be anything. It could be nothing at all. Like, this could be just some sort of sick trick. But it's worth checking out. I mean, just in the slight hope. Maybe, just maybe, there's something to this. Or maybe there's something more to it all. Also, here's a special cameo appearance by James's car. We're never going to see this car again. The only purpose this car serves is that it had a map of Silent Hill in it, and we're going to come to love this map as it'll help us get around. So, as James pointed out in the cutscene, the only place that he can think of off the top of their head that might qualify as a special place is the Rosewater Park, since they used to spend a lot of their time there. So, normally, I'm sure James would just drive there, but as we see, the road's kind of looking grim from this point on. So, we're pretty much just going to have to leg it there. Now, at a lot of points in Silent Hill 2, if you stand around a bit, you might hear something that average players probably wouldn't pick up on. They might just run through. So we're going to stick around a bit, check some of the things out, maybe see if we hear anything. What I'm looking for specifically is occasionally you might hear a dog bark here. However, since it's not really worth wasting our time waiting for, may as well move on. I'd like to have heard it, but oh well. It's fairly random. So, I suppose now would be a good time to go over the controls. You can move either using the control stick or the directional pad. Personally, I prefer to use the directional pad. By pressing L1 and R1, you can strafe. These are subjective to James's point of view, so L1 will strafe to James's left, R1 will strafe to his right. L2 sort of pans the camera out and gives you some control over it. You can move it around a little bit with the right analog stick. Holding square lets James run. You can set it so that it's reversed and James will always be running and you hold square to walk if that's more your style. X does something that... X is like your action button, it lets you examine things, and it also does another thing that'll become pertinent later. Ditto for circle. Pressing triangle will open up your map, and, well, we can't look at it right now, but pressing start will open up your inventory. Now, if you listen closely at this path, you may hear some noises. We're going to take it slow, see if we can hear out some of these noises. So yeah, occasionally you'll hear something that sounds like a shuffling and rustling in the woods. So, is there something there, something following us? We don't know. And we're never really going to find out. All we can assume is that something's in the woods. Something's making sounds. It is awfully foggy in this town. Kind of weird. A little creepy, if you ask me. Heading along this path, we'll eventually come to something. We'll come to a small well. Now, there's something in this well. It's not an item or anything we need to worry about. But there is a certain thing here. However, it's something that we'll see many times throughout the game, so I don't feel it necessary to look at it just quite yet. However, we will head into this little area. This area is a graveyard, and it looks like there's someone here.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry. I
No,
was
it's
just...
okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But
Yes?
I think you'd better stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it. It's kind of hard to explain, but
Is it dangerous?
maybe. And it's not just the fog either.
Okay,
It's...
I got it. I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I really don't care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going to town either way.
But why?
I'm looking for... someone.
Who is it?
Someone... very important to me. I'd do anything if I could be with her again.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry. It's not your problem.
I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, so we've met a somewhat dodgy young woman in this cemetery. She pointed us the way to Silent Hill 2, or Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill. Don't know why I'm throwing in the number. But she gave us a warning. She said there's something wrong with this town. Not just in the fog, there's something bizarre going on here. But James doesn't really care. He's kind of desperate just to see if his wife is here. Just maybe. So he's gonna press on. There may be dangers, but he can handle it. I don't know about you, but I hear something. Now I definitely hear something. I wonder who left this here. And say hello to one of our first big New Game Plus features. Don't pause. There we go. This is the chainsaw. This is a special New Game Plus weapon. You do not have access to this on your first run through the game. The chainsaw is fairly powerful, but it is kind of slow. All the attacks, you sort of have to lean into them, and they take up a bit of time to do. Now, besides the chainsaw, we have two other items in James's inventory. We have the photo of Mary from when she was still healthy, and we also have the letter that he got from her. You can examine these, and they'll influence something that happens way later in the game. However, we're going to leave those alone for now. For the sake of, since I've already got Boulder just set, I won't use the chainsaw, just for the sake of making this a bit more interesting. I don't know about you, but I definitely hear footsteps other than my own. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. So, yes, for the start of this game, we do have a lot of running that needs to be done. A lot of running, and there doesn't really seem to be a definite goal. All we know is that we need to get to the Rosewater Park. That's our main objective, and you'd think it would be as simple as make a beeline there, but as you'll see, there's going to be things that come up on our way there. Let's head through this gate. Now, I hope you enjoyed the sights up until this point, because as soon as you go through this gate, James refuses to go back, since there's really no reason to. He needs to find Mary. So, we're now getting close to Silent Hill proper. We're actually on paved roads now. I think those noises have stopped. So I think we're on our own for now. Wait a minute. Something's definitely out there. It's probably nothing, but still. The fact that that girl was the only person we've seen so far kind of makes me uneasy. From the looks of it, it seems like that was pretty much the only person James has saw up until this point. This place seems fairly deserted. Some ramshackle things. Aha, we're in the town proper now. So let's explore for a little bit. Get our bearings. But really all I want is this first aid kit that's on this bench over here. This is the only item of interest this way. Where we want to go is this way. Gates. Let's see, let's take a look at our handy-dandy map. Looks like the fastest way to get to Rosewater Park is just go straight up Lindsay Street and take Nathan Avenue. So, we'll do that. Wait a minute. What the... Well, this doesn't look too good. We've got blood marks, it looks like, and the mysterious figure over there. Should we investigate it? Well, head this way. We're going to find that James is somewhat perturbed by that whole thing. He wants to check it out. You can head this way. And you'll find the first rather odd thing about Silent Hill. There are giant barricades blocking the road. This doesn't bode well. Since we've really got nowhere else to go, we may as well follow that figure, see what it is. We've got plenty of time to get to Rosewater Park, so we may as well investigate things a little bit. After all, it's probably the only other thing we've seen since we got here besides that girl. It could just be a person who walks funny. And seriously, why is this place so empty? Oh hey, health drink. Yeah, pick that drink up off the floor. Oh, hey, alleyway. We could have gone down here, but let's check out the rest of the roads first. Huh. Let's see. Looks like Nathan Avenue has been blocked off this way. Though that's kind of odd. It's sort of like... It's not just like any ordinary cave-in. That road is turned into a bottomless pit. I don't feel well about this. Oh, we got a little marker here. Let's see. Well, we've got a marker here, but most of it's old and faded, and we can't actually read it. Figures we'd get a marker like that. But, now that we've seen it, James has taken note of it, and we have it added to our memo. So if you want to take a crack at deciphering that, then feel free to if you're playing this game and you look at your memo. Now heading this way, here's a couple things to check out real quick. First off, we've got some health drinks. It'd be a good idea to hoard these, because there's plenty of them, and hanging on to them when you really need them is a good idea. But also, there's a red thing on the table. Let's look at it. Makes him feel like someone's groping around his skull. This is our save point. Here you can save your game, and whenever you see it, you can save your game. And it'll make note of all the saves you make, and yeah, there's a lot of these scattered throughout the game. There was one in that well that I stopped at, but I didn't feel like looking at it since, it didn't seem like relevant at the time. We could have just checked it out here when there was actually stuff I wanted to get. Oh, we seem to be heading back to dirt roads. Just as soon as we got to the paved ones. Oh well. I hear something. It's over here. This doesn't look too friendly. Whoa, whoa, hey. I think you need a timeout, mister. Yeah, stay down.
Is it dead? What the hell is it?
It's not human.
Well, I think it's a safe bet that this was this mysterious figure that we saw earlier. Whatever it is, it's dead now. Let's get out of here. I don't like the looks of this thing. And I also don't like the looks of the poor bastard this thing got.
Oh yeah. This thing broken? What the? I better take it anyway. I might need it.
Unfortunately, that radio message we got was garbled and we couldn't hear a lot of it, but something tells me there was something important that it had to tell us. Unfortunately, we'll never know. But we've got the first weapon you should have actually gotten, assuming this was just a regular new game, the wooden plank. Now, with the combat in Silent Hill 2, it's kind of stiff. You press R2 to go into a fighting stance, and you can move around with some weapons, well, you can move around with certain weapons and attack with them while moving. Not all weapons let you do this. To attack, you just press X, and the buttons are pressure sensitive, so if you lightly tap, you get that swing, and if you press it down hard, you get a heavy swing. Heavy swings are, obviously, they hit harder, but they are a bit slower. However, for the wooden plank, I find the heavy swing to be the more sensible thing to do most of the time. Usually just dispatches the enemies faster, I find, than just messing around using light swings. But now that we've encountered our first creature, you'll find that the whole damn town is crawling with these things. And our radio is an important tool for us now, as it lets us know when there are monsters nearby. Now, if you were to come over this way, you would have come across these police tapes, and they would have impeded your way, since James, being the good citizen he will not cross police tape. However, now that he's realized that something isn't really right with this town, I don't know, maybe it's the monsters that gave him that hint, he decides, screw actually paying attention to the police tape, and it's torn up anyway, so I may as well just forget about it. Now here we got a health drink. And this is actually some light sequence breaking I'm doing right now. But I'm going to show you how you're supposed to know to do this anyway, so over here we find a key to an apartment. Or rather, the key to the gate of the apartment. This will become important later. We're not sure why we need this. There is a hint telling you where this key is and what it's used for. Well, obviously it's used for the apartment gate. It's not exactly obvious why you're supposed to go to a certain place to get this hint. And it's not exactly obvious where it is, but we're going to head there. Where we want to go is Saul Street. So, it's a good idea to get used to all the street names and stuff, get used to the layout of the town, just so it's easier to find your way around. Now, if you wanted to, you could stop and fight most of these monsters, and if you're going for a 10-star run, which is basically the completionist run, where you basically do everything and get, like, the highest score as it could be possible. Hey, is there... Oh god, body. These guys are straitjackets. They're not too bad. All they do is sort of shamble towards you and spit acid occasionally. Nothing too bad. So, we're on our way to Saul Street, and when we get there, what we have to go into is fairly obvious. It's sort of hard to miss. Let's see, are we on the right path? Yep. It's not really that it's easy to get lost here, it's just the fog kind of obscures your view a lot, which is what it's there to do, really. So it can be easy to lose your way, which is why a map is really handy. Yeah, this is what we need on Saul Street. This was our destination. In this trailer, there isn't much. There's a save point, and on the couch, I'll wait at Bar Neely's. Obviously, Bar Neely's is Neely's Bar. Which, funnily enough, we passed on the way to get here, so we could have just stopped in Neely's Bar and got that hint if we wanted to. But really, stopping in Neely's Bar is pointless if you already know what to do, since all it has is a hint that tells you where that key is. But, for the sake of completion, we're going to check it out. This is just like, if you're playing this game for the first time, this is how you'd know what to do. Obviously, since you don't really have any clear goal and objective other than get to the park, which you're not sure how to get there because the road is blocked off, you'd do a lot of exploring, check out what you could, and you'd probably stumble across that trailer. So I guess it's not too bad in how it's, like, kind of obscure what you have to do. Okay, so the Neely's Bar is just across from this Happy Burger. Good evening, monster. Goodbye, monster. Let's head in here. Oh wait, is this Neely's Bar? No. Here we go. I think that was one entrance to Neely's Bar, but not the right one. Okay, let's see. We've got a map here. A map very like our own, but it's sort of charred up. But it's also got the alleyway where we got the key marked. And this is how you're supposed to know the Woodside apartment is your objective. Oh wait, it doesn't have the alleyway where the key is marked. oh, whatever. It lets you know that Woodside Apartment is where you want to go. And here's a rather infamous line from this game. There was a hole here. It's gone now. It's not exactly obvious what that means, but it's sort of one of those things that has stuck with the fans, and it's a fairly popular phrase among people who are a fan of the series. It for sure has been referenced a lot. In fact, Silent Hill 2 is pretty much the most popular game of the series, and it has been referenced to hell in some of the other games. Silent Hill 3 was particularly notable for this, where if you had a save file from Silent Hill 2, a completed save file, there would be a few Easter eggs about this game appearing. Now here we find something interesting. We find handgun bullets, but we don't have a handgun. Still, having the bullets now kind of comes in handy for when we actually do have a handgun. So, now that we've gotten those, Woodside Apartment is just this way. Now, if you're paying attention to the map, you kind of wonder, well, what's Woodside Apartment really the purpose of it? Can't we just, like, walk past it and go to Rosewater Park? Because there is a road leading to it, right past it. We're about to find out why that isn't an option. And for a deserted town, there sure is a lot of garbage in the dumpsters. Hello, goodbye. Let's see. The door that wakes in darkness, opening into nightmares. The road is blocked and we can't get any further, and this door is locked. So, yeah, the apartment is pretty much our only option for something to do now. So let's check it out. James automatically uses the apartment key upon examining the gate. And we are in. Now you can check out this area a little bit. There's another door on the other side. There's a little trash chute back here if you want to check it out. But there isn't much we can do here right now. What we have to do out here will become obvious once we start exploring the apartment a bit and start messing around in there. So for now, let's head into the Woodside Apartment. Now, the first thing you'll probably notice is that this place is really dark. Sure would be nice if we had, like, a light or something. And over here, very important item. The map. So we'll take that. And over here, we'll use this save point, because I think this is a good stopping point. Good as any, really. And when we come back, we will check out more of Silent Hill 2. So, I hope you enjoyed this part, and hopefully you'll enjoy the rest too. If not, I don't blame you really. So yes, until next time, see you.